Coming up, students have something to celebrate. The student loan reform bill could mean more money for grants in community colleges. A full report straight ahead.
And Metro fare hike. DC bus riders aren't happy and say they are unfairly being targeted. We'll have a live report. District Wire News starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Bernhardt.
And I'm Cynammon Burns. Bus riders are upset over fare increases because they feel it affects them more than rail riders. Metro data supports their frustrations. Rena Novini is live in the studio.
Metro faces a historic $189 million budget deficit starting July 1st. To fill this gap, Metro is proposing fare increases and service cuts. The proposal in Metro's 2011 budget would raise bus fares from $1.25 to $1.50 and rail fares from $1.65 to $1.90. While the fare increase would hit wallets hard, it's the service cuts that would hurt the most. Metro's proposal to raise fares and cut routes would affect everyone who uses it. Metro riders use the rail and bus to go to work, school, and everything in between.
To go to work, I would either take the N2 that leaves right from here into Friendship Heights.
It's the bus riders who would feel it the most. According to a Metrobus rider profile in 2007, 50% of bus riders are minorities, 23% are unemployed, and 1 in 5 has no car in their household. Some riders don't mind the change in fares if it means the route would still be running.
I don't have a car, I had no way of getting there, and that would affect my decisions upon taking a job too, especially with graduation coming up. If I'm getting offered a job somewhere and there's no way to get there and I don't have a car, how could I even accept that position?
For the first time, Metro is using the Census Bureau and other data to find out exactly how the changes would impact minorities and people without cars. Cutting routes would hurt those with less money and fewer options of transportation.
I mean, I'm a college student and I'm pretty poor, so I could stand to use a discount, and instead the rates are going up. And I know about 20,000 other college students in the DC area that would probably say the same thing.
Metro's last fare increase, the largest in its history, was in 2008. Metro has scheduled 6 public hearings to discuss the service changes and other ways to close the budget gap. People are invited to attend these hearings and give their input on the options.
2 suicide bombers attacked Moscow's subway system Monday. The attacks killed 38 people and wounded more than 60 others. Moscow officials say the bombers were rebels from the Caucasus region in Russia. Tensions have been growing between the Chechen separatists and the Kremlin for more than a decade. The Kremlin says they will not strike back with firepower.
Metro has planned a bus explosion drill for Monday in the RFK Stadium parking lot. This past weekend, Metro had an overnight drill that simulated a below-ground train explosion. The simulations have been planned since December.
The Senate adjourned on Friday without passing an unemployment extension. Unemployment insurance benefits for the jobless are scheduled to expire on April 5th while Congress is on vacation. Republicans, led by Senator Tom Coburn, blocked a 1-month short-term extension of the benefits. Democrats have scheduled a vote when they return in April to try to end the Republican filibuster.
Pell Grant recipients may find more money in their award packages next year. Congress approved a student loan overhaul that forces banks out of the federal loan business. Caitlin Gart has the story.
The bill is passed.
The student aid initiative attached to the healthcare bill passed last Sunday. The loan reform will eliminate a $61 billion program that supports private student loans with federal subsidies. It will replace the current program with direct government lending to students.
Anywhere from 20 to 30% of the costs of the student loan program have gone to the banks in terms of their cost and fees and so forth. So this is going to reduce that significantly. And in so doing, it's going to free up a lot more money that's available to be loaned out to students so that they can afford to go to the colleges and universities here in the U.S. and elsewhere.
By ending the subsidies and eliminating the middleman, the student loan bill would save taxpayers more than $60 billion over the next 10 years.
This means some up-and-coming student doesn't have to work. They can devote 100% of their time to study. They can come up with the next Google or the next pharmaceutical cure for some disease.
The loan reform will mean increases in the federal Pell Grant program. It will also mean more money for institutions who serve minority students and community colleges. Caitlin Gart, District Wire News, Washington.
Take a look at those green appliances in your home. If they have the Energy Star logo, you may want to take that rating with a grain of salt. The energy certification system is facing harsh scrutiny after the Government Accountability Office submitted bogus plans for a gas-powered alarm clock. The plan had received an Energy Star approval. Other plans that were approved included an air purifier built using a feather duster attached to a space heater. A spokesman from the Environmental Protection Agency, which runs the Energy Star certification program, denies any fraud.
Passover begins this evening at sundown. Today also marks the second day of the Holy Week for Christians. Although AU encourages professors to accommodate students, classes will continue as usual. Claire Scattergood has the story.
This week, religious students at AU who want to observe Passover and the Christian Holy Week may find some trouble. The university doesn't take any time off for these holidays, creating problems for students trying to attend classes and activities.
We had an intramural, I think it was baseball team this spring, and this has happened to us before with soccer and other sports, where it's been on Jewish holidays that the school hasn't given off, but because we're in a fraternity where the majority of our members are Jewish, most of our people were either home or unavailable, and when we went to talk to AU to try and get the games rescheduled, they said it wasn't their problem, it wasn't a national holiday, and that we would have to forfeit the games.
And so it's frustrating. I mean, it's definitely probably maybe even more important of a religious holiday to my family than Christmas, and it's hard to see my whole family together knowing that I can't be there.
Father David Mott, the chaplain at K Spiritual Life Center, says a variety of services will be available all week for students.
We'll be going through the entire history of salvation and then ultimately to the celebration of Christ rising from the dead, the biggest celebration we have all year.
Reporting for the District Wire News, I'm Claire Scattergood.
President Barack Obama returned to the White House on Monday following a secret trip to Afghanistan. The trip put focus back on the war after weeks dominated by health care. Obama said the U.S. would not quit in Afghanistan and told Afghan President Hamid Karzai old promises must be kept. These promises include reducing corruption and creating an effective national police force and army.
Coming up after the break, touring U Street, a new free audio walking tour, where tourists can hear history and the smooth sounds of Duke Ellington.
And it might be raining, but the blossoms are out. We'll take you to the National Cherry Blossom Festival that's underway.